welcome to Cooking with Gemma.
This week we're going to make cheddar and black pepper breakfast muffins. So for this recipe you will need some equipment. You'll need a wooden spoon, you'll need a rolling pin, you'll need some weighing scales, you'll need a large bowl, you'll need something to cut out a round shape. We don't have any round cutters, so we're going to use this jug for it, container. You'll need some cheese, you'll need some black pepper, you'll need some extra strong or strong bread flour, you need some fast yeast, you'll need some caster sugar, you'll need some semolina, which is quite hard to find in the supermarket. We found it down at the aisle that has the rice pudding and tinned and boxed custard down there. And you'll need some salt and some warm milk. We've got 340 millilitres of milk and we've already warmed it up in the microwave. So we're ready to start. So the first job is to get your lukewarm milk, 340 mils, and pour 1 sachet of yeast in. That's about 7 grams. Okay, then you're going to give it a stir. And then when you've stirred it, you're going to leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. Until the mixture looks a little bit frothy. Okay, next we need to weigh out 500 grams of flour. Through 406, a bit more. 477. 498, 499, 500. Next, you need to add about a teaspoon of salt. Stir that into the mixture. Try not to spill it everywhere. Next, you're going to add the grated cheese and then black pepper. 100 grams of grated cheese and about a teaspoon of black pepper. And mix it well. In the centre of your flour, and then you're going to pour your warm milk with yeast that's now slightly frothy into the well in the centre of the bowl. And then you're going to bring it all together to form a dough. Nearly forgot to add the sugar. We need to add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. In it goes. And mix it together and keep adding some of your milk and yeast mixture into the bowl. Next, you need to flour the work surface and then get the dough out of the bowl and give it a good knead for up to 10 minutes. So you want it to be a sort of ever so slightly sticky and springy consistency. If it starts getting a little bit tough, stop kneading. You don't want to overwork the dough. Then you're going to get your large bowl washed. You're going to spray with some oil around the bowl. And then you're going to put your dough into the bowl. And let it rise, let it prove. Next, you need to cover your bowl with some cling film and leave it for about an hour until it has doubled in size. Alexa, set a timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Okay, the dough has doubled in size now, so you need to lightly flour the surface and then get the dough out of the bowl and then knock it back and just knead it lightly. Once you've done a light knead, then you're going to put it back in the oiled bowl for 30 minutes. There we go, back in the oiled bowl. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Dough's been resting for another half an hour. You can see it's risen a little bit more again. So now we need to get the dough out and shape it into muffins. So we don't need to knead it again now. We need to be careful not to knock any air out. We're just going to flatten it a little bit with the rolling pin in order to cut out our circles. And then you can either make them into a ball and flatten them by hand or use a round cutter. Okay, we managed to cut out 7 using a cutter and 1 by hand. So 8 in total. Okay, next you need to spread some semolina on a baking tray if you've got it to stop the mess getting everywhere. Ours are all in the dishwasher, so we're just putting a bit on the worktop and putting the muffins in the semolina and then dusting them on top. Then you're going to leave them set with the semolina on them, just sit them for about half an hour. Okay, the muffins have been rising for another half an hour, so now it's time to cook them with a little bit of butter in a large frying pan for 10 minutes on each side. There we go, the muffins are cooking in a little bit of butter in the frying pan. Just be careful, if your hobs quite fast, they do start to burn easily. If that happens, just flip them over to stop them burning too much. What happened there? Okay, the muffins are ready. They have risen a little bit in the pan actually, so they're quite huge, but they look good. We're going to leave them to cool for about 10 minutes, and then I think we're going to eat them for breakfast.